Hello. I would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I am Sophia Campbell. I appreciate all of my subscribers, everyone who's watched my videos, said that they've liked them. This whole thing is new to me. I appreciate your support and I appreciate you allowing me to be on your journey. A moment of truth. A moment of truth. Putting up this YouTube video was a lot for me because of all of the possible scrutiny, what someone might think, what someone might say, all of the things that people do or human beings do. And then I was reminded that I, you, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. That's a lot. And so when we understand that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, our walk is a lot different. The things that we focus on are a lot different. So I knew, because whenever I give of myself or to others, I'm channeling my higher self. It's coming from a totally different place. So what somebody sees or what they think or what their opinions are, that I understand that whoever this message is for, no filters, they'll receive it. And for who it's not, there's so many of us out here that are here to help you do your work. You'll be able to find that love and that light from that person. So with that, I decided today what we'll talk about is unconditional love. How do you experience unconditional love, true love with yourself? Because that's the first place that we're able to do it. So I'll share some things with you. As a child, as I'm sure we all have these things that maybe affected us. I used to get picked at for my birthmark. Oh my goodness. The things that folk would say. Possibly little boys who liked me and didn't know how to do other things, or just other spiritual beings having human experiences along their own way. So I used to have a huge complex about my birthmark, and at any turn possible, I would use my hair or different things to cover it up. I was raised in being Indian Jamaican, being a coolie, or what that would be to be different, going to school and having a very heavy accent at first when I came to this country. And so maybe a lot of people couldn't understand the things that I was saying as I was taught how to speak the Queen's English. And so we cleaned up that diction. And so whenever I'm around my family, that comes out totally different, because of course my first language is of my native land, right? And that is Jamaica. Blessings and peace to all my family. So all of these things that were created within me about who I am, where I'm from, what I look like, all of these outward insecurities, I healed those. I worked on those. How did I heal those? I started to love myself. And so what I noticed was others' opinion of me mattered not. Because whenever I decided to show up and show out in all of my fullness and all of my being and all of what is, that's what people responded to. So I learned how to self-love. A little bit on that outer self-love. On that outer self-love, what can you do? I have a little challenge. So sometimes I just turn the music up all the way, get in front of the mirror, the way that I came into this world, and just dance. and just feel whatever that goodness is of whatever I'm deciding to vibe on at that moment. I laugh because I'm pretty hilarious to myself. And for those that I love and love me, well, they tell me the same. Because I don't take myself too seriously. I encourage you to go in front of the mirror in all of your glory of how you, this spiritual being, having this human experience, was brought through. Because what I know is all of that you see on the exterior, none of that was by chance, especially not what's on the inside. And we'll talk about that because, oh my gosh, that's what really matters. So as you look into the mirror, I want you to experience something that is self-love, that is unconditional love. Be able to look at all of what God made, how beautifully and wonderfully made you were. And guess what? There were no mistakes, because this being, this creator, knew exactly what was needed. Now, as we go through, and maybe those of us do different things that help us to feel better. And whatever that is that you do is absolutely okay, as long as the reasons why we're doing it is for us and not for another's perception of what we think we should be. Because an external thought of who you should be is always fallacy. That external was the beginning. That external was just the first step. So as I began to heal the outside, because that's what we're first introduced to, then I noticed the true being, the true essence of what is, and for us to truly get to our purpose here, is that yummy inside. It's those things that we don't discuss, that we don't share. It's those things that truly need to be healed. Now, for those walks of life, and we'll talk about that some, that would be meditation. That's the first start. Because with that meditation, you're able to truly see the things that we've not been discussing, the things that we were hiding from each other, because we don't really want people to know what's really going on the inside. There are many things that we can do to deal with the inside. And for those of us who are truly on that spiritual journey, it starts with clearing that inner child, really being able to speak to and understand that inner child, and most importantly, not judging that inner child. Because what we're here to do is to learn. See, when we were brought here on a mission. And on that mission, there were experiences that we need to have in order to help us remember those things that we forgot when we came through. But the things that we forgot are actually the blessing. So when we talk about the destination, not the most important. The journey is the destination. So as we go back into that self-work and we start to do clearings of our childhood, our teenage, and for those of you who believe in this also, clearings of your past lives. Because some of those things that we come into, we brought them here, but they need to be healed so that the mission work for this particular journey can be fulfilled. Man, as I was learning to experience unconditional love, and as a twin flame, we'll talk about that too, because that exterior unconditional love, what we know it as, is changing. But that unconditional love with self, as I was meditating, I started to feel every morning I would wake up and I just felt so much unconditional love for self. And externally, I thought it was going to come from somewhere. I thought it was happening from somewhere. And let me tell you, on day 5, as I was all in my fullness, glory, light, awesomeness that is, I heard, right now, you're going to meet that person right now. And I'm thinking, I'm in my house. What do you mean? Who's coming right now? I went and I walked by a full-length mirror. And when I walked by that full-length mirror, I was stopped dead in my tracks. Wow, that person that I was to experience unconditional love with was myself, was me. It was me. It's you. You are that person to experience unconditional love with yourself. Because if we don't love ourselves, how can we love another? For me, when God went from being in the sky to being within me, I understood self-love in a totally different way. Not my ego, not I'm just this and I'm thinking I'm this, and none of those things. To love my essence, my being, what is all that we are created with. Just imagine I was put on pause as I had to look in that mirror and love on Sophia, love on me. Because only then could I start my true work of experiencing and sharing and rechanging what love is. And it's not just with a partner, it's with self, it's with others. It has no filter. It doesn't have any hurt. It doesn't have any pain. It comes from a place of oneness within, of self-love. So therefore, when we deal with others, we're coming from a totally different place, because we're not coming from a place of judgment. We're not coming from a place of hurt. We're not coming from all of these places that say, I need to protect myself. I believe that you've done this or you've done this, so I'm going to act like this or do that. It doesn't come from that place. It comes from a place of inner, true, unconditional love. And so in that way, we're able to learn how to love another. What a gift. What a gift. As you're doing your work, and for those of you who are looking for a little bit more detail on how to self-love, because the stuff on the outside that I cleared up, that was just the beginning. The stuff on the inside, then I knew the assignments were done. And now I could be about my mission. Now you can be about your mission. To learn how to love yourself. I'd always wanted to experience unconditional love. It was just something that I felt real deep in my soul, that I knew was something, a part of what I was here to experience and how I was able to experience it. But all of the many wonderful souls that I met along the way, that in their way, because my soul had a contract with them in different ways for different lessons I needed to learn. And for the purpose of this video, the lesson of unconditional self-love. Not from a place of victimization, not from a place of what someone has done or what we believe has been done to us. From a place of why we're here, what we're here to do, and to be able to learn those lessons, the process, Because once we learn those lessons and we master them, then we're able to move on to the next. Then these lessons no longer have to come back to us to haunt us. But those true clearings come from true, deep inner work. And being able to pause and tap into and come from a place of non-judgment of self. So as I grew, and as you grow, I allowed myself to feel all of the things and emotions that I was feeling. No judgment. And as I allowed myself to go there fully and experience that fully, then I was able to go to the root and not the present situation. The present situation is just a reflection. It's just a reflection. It's just a reflection. I needed to go to the root for the real cleanup. And so as you, and we can do it together, learn how to go to the root of those clearings, whether those be from past lives, whether that be from your childhood, whether that be from karma, whatever all of those things are, then we're able to release. So, what did we clean up first? We cleaned up the outside. The outside are those superficial things that do not matter. In that self-talk or in that true talk, being able to just be. We clean up the outside and we notice that all that matters is what's in. And when we step forward into the world with that inner love and light, the exterior matters not. But it's that first step of self-love. That second step is to go within and truly do our inner work. And truly come from that place of love, that place of light, and that place to be able to share with one another in our true essence. Because now, as we share, it has nothing to do with anything other than our true purpose of why we're here. We all have different gifts, we all have different messages, and we all have different ways to share. And so I encourage you, as you do your self-work, to be able to go out and share. So when I share with you, and this was another part of that fear, I'm not coming from a place of I am perfect, I know everything, I have it all figured out. I'm coming from a place of I am a spiritual being having a human experience. And within that, I've learned a lot. I've experienced a lot. In this day, I will learn so much more. Tomorrow, I will continue to grow. And the only thing that I look to do is, as I grow, as we grow together, to learn those lessons and become the best version of myself every day. Every day. So that doesn't leave room for judgment, because we understand that this is a learning process. We understand that we'll have experiences. We understand that we only get as much as we can handle in that moment. So sometimes it's not that you haven't learned the lesson. You've learned the lesson to the capacity of what you can handle at this time. So when we go back and we have to relearn this lesson, it's not learned in the same way. So this time, as on this topic, as we confront our outer and inner selves and experience unconditional love with ourselves, as we tap into that, we'll get a little deeper, and then we'll be able to truly clear it. No judgment, because each rung, each ladder, as we get a little bit higher on that, we get a little bit closer to total clearing. And so as we're able to receive more, as our capacity and expansion of what is expands, then we're able to clear a little bit more. So, for those of you who are looking for a little bit more help, a little bit more walk hand in hand, I would be so honored to be able to help you with that. Remember, self-love is true unconditional love. That is that first step to being able to know how to show up in the world. Because then everything looks differently. Not because it's changed, but because you have grown. And so you see it with a new set of eyes. Same situation, new set of eyes. Today, we have a new set of eyes. So, if you like, please subscribe, share, leave comments. If there's something that you'd like for me to talk about, please share below. Let me know. You can reach me if you're looking for something deeper at iamsophiacampbell@gmail.com. I thank you in this moment, in every moment. I send you love. I send you light. And in this moment, I share unconditional love with you. Unconditional love. Love yourself. We'll learn how to love others. Love and light. Have and create an amazing, amazing day. Thank you. Talk to you later.